After yet another disappointing season for the Dolphins, they have decided to fire head coach Adam Gase and sign coach John Nohart, who certainly doesn't have a heart for this Dolphins team, and he's going to try to rebuild it. All right, guys, here as you can see the roster after the 2016-2017 NFL season, the Miami Dolphins, which now have gone 5-11 this past year, obviously not very good enough, and that was not obviously good enough for the owner of the Dolphins. He's decided to bring in John Nohart to try and fix that. And as we try to do this with this series, I hope you enjoy. After yet another disappointing season for Arian Foster, as you can see, as he could not stay healthy, um, obviously it might be one of the point of reason we might have to get rid of him. So we can see how the rest of the team did XP wise. As you can see, Nanamic Sue still a force there. Obviously have something to build around this team. We do have a few good players. Rashad Jones, obviously one of the top premier safeties in the league. We do have a pretty good receiving core in Landry and Parker. Not so sure we're going to keep Stills, to be honest. I don't think he's. I think we need more of a bigger type receiver. I think we have too many slot type wide receivers. Um, I think on the offensive line, I think we do have a good left guard and center. Not so sure about the rest. Bushrod, I think he's getting up there in age, if I'm correct. Yeah, he's 33 years old. Not so sure that we're going to keep him for the future. We might be able to get him in a trade away from the team. Uh, but other than that, most of this team needs to be rebuilt. So let's begin. As you can see, we traded away Byron Maxwell for a sixth-round pick to the Cleveland Browns. I think this was actually a pretty good deal for both sides. Cleveland gets a good number 2 cornerback. Obviously, not a really good cornerback either in Philadelphia or Miami. So we decided we were just going to start fresh and just get rid of him. So we dumped him off for a 6th-round pick. I think we could probably get someone just as good at a younger age. So I think that was a pretty good trade right there. We were able to re-sign Jelani Jenkins, and we actually had to franchise tag Rashad Jones. He did not want to come back originally, but we just felt like we could not get rid of him. He's such a good quality safety. We thought that he could definitely help us get to a championship sometime soon. As you can see, we traded away Koomisi here. Obviously, we are moving to a 4-3 instead of a 3-4 defensive scheme. He just doesn't fit the build for us anymore. We just decided we're going to dump him off for a 4th-round pick to see if we can get something better that would fit more of our scheme, maybe either in free agency or the draft. I think that honestly, I think he's a good player. I just don't think he's what we need. So decided to dump him off there. Let me know down in the description if you think that was a good trade or not, if anyone's actually there. As you can see, traded Ryan Tannehill away. Obviously, he's been very disappointing for Miami. We decided we were going to cut ties with him after this rebuild. Obviously, one of the bigger moves we've made. We traded a 2018 3rd-round pick for a 2nd-round pick this year, along with him. I think that honestly, we could get anybody that would probably be better. A 2nd-round pick, obviously, we need a lot of help on this team, so I think it was a good, decent draft, good, decent trade for us, and possibly the Bears, who obviously need a quarterback other than Jay Cutler, who's been awful for the last 5 years. All right, moving into the free agent period. Obviously, we're going to need a quarterback, but I think we save that for the draft. Running back, I think we're okay with talent there. I think we can work with what we have. Wide receiver, I think we do need a guy with some speed. Not so sure if a guy out there would be any good. Offensive line-wise, we could just really use some depth, to be honest. I don't think we're that bad on the offensive line. I just think that, frankly, we never had a quarterback. Let's see if we can sign Vasquez. I think Vasquez would be a good, nice fit to our team. As you can see, a couple of players we did get. I added Trey Burton. Obviously, he hasn't proven himself too much. If you know him, you probably don't know him, but plays for the Philadelphia Eagles. He's their 3rd tight end. He actually has a lot of speed, like a wide receiver. I think we could definitely use him in many packages in this spread offense. I think that he could possibly be the number 1 tight end at the end of the day if that's what it comes to, based on who we draft. But I think that he could definitely fill in. I think he's a pretty good player. I think he still has a lot to develop, but I think he's pretty good. Getting Robert Woods, I think he'll be another pretty good wide receiver in the slot. I know we really don't need too much of the slot, but he was honestly the best option for the price. I think we could work with him very much. We signed a couple of backups. I signed one backup, and then the other 2 decided not to sign with me. But, well, whatever. Fuck them. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, Mario Williams, the guy we just cut, signed a 4-year deal worth $30 million. So we'll see if that works out for the Cardinals. But We really didn't do too much here. Obviously, we need as much as we can get. We have the 3rd overall pick in the draft after going 5-11. I think it's a good decision here to take Oakland's deal. We get their 1st, 2nd, and 3rd for this year. So I think it's a pretty good trade for both teams, if whoever they're going after. I don't see us getting a quarterback till the later 1st round anyway. So I think it's a good trade here. Moving down to 11. We might want to take the left tackle. Don't think about that guy exactly, though. I think that the tackle position is one of the most important on the field next to the quarterback. The offensive line, you certainly most want to build before you build the O-line. But it's going to be a tough decision. I'm going to see if I can trade down one more time to see if we can get that. But we'll see what we can do. All right. Well, not seeing too much here. Yeah, they're not really giving us anything too much here. We get that's not even this year. That's an awful trade. Yeah, not seeing anything here. Gonna move on from this. I think we're gonna have to take the left tackle. Left tackle, obviously, Brandon Albert's a nice veteran, but I think we could definitely do better than him. I definitely think the guy here at 6'5" is much better. We're gonna take that prospect, and he's the 32nd best. Quick development though. I think he could definitely develop into a good left tackle for us. Help rebuild and help us get the quarterback that we need to keep him upright. All right, moving on to the next pick. I'm gonna actually.
All right, now that the pick's in, let's go to Adam. Adam, what can you tell us
33rd pick. See what's left up there. We do have a tight end here who might fit into our scheme pretty well. Pretty good speed, 4.7, not that bad. Kirkland Milner, we're going to take him. Mid-1st round pick projected, early 2nd round, we're going to take him. 74 overall, he's pretty much ranked where he drafted about he should be. He's got a slow development trait, but we'll try to turn that around quickly. Let's see if there's any trade we'll be able to possibly trade down to get our quarterback. Pick 36, which no, that's not this year. 2017 pick 48. Probably the best deal we could go with here. Yeah, we're going to go with the Colts deal to move down about 12 spots, I think. See if we can't get this quarterback. I don't think anybody took a quarterback. I do not think so. Well, let's hope not. They did not. We are going to take the young quarterback, Nash Welding. Excuse me. Let's see how good he is. 74 overall. Probably he's not that bad. His accuracy is much better than his overall says. I think we could definitely work with him. Throw power 89. So he's definitely a good pro quarterback. Doesn't have a noodle arm. It's a good pick by Madden standards anyway. But that'll be our starting quarterback, Nash Welding. Or Wendling, actually, what am I saying? All right. Moving on, we do need a right end really badly on this team. Let's see what else we have on here. We don't have much left here. All right, Stacy Martz. Let's see how good you are. 74 overall. Most of our pick, but he does have a superstar development trait. Could possibly develop into a very good defensive lineman for us. He will get a lot of time since there are no other defensive ends on the team. Could possibly be a superstar for us if he can develop into the talent that we need. All right, well, I said I wasn't going to draft a running back, but looking at this guy still stuck up on the board. Quick development trait, 96 speed will definitely help out this team very much. Obviously, I thought our running back situation might be able to work with, but with this guy, we could definitely break off some big runs with him and use him in the pass game as well. Ooh, a hell out of a blind pick. Here we get the number 18th best player in the draft, 88 speed linebacker Jerron Cartwright. Pretty good linebacker, I'd say. What are we in the 4th or 5th round here? Nice pick here for this guy. Projected to be a 7th round guy, so that's pretty damn good for at the end of the 4th round. It looks like that's a pretty good pick. I was a little surprised. I didn't actually think I was going to get that good of a pick there, but. We're looking for corners, but I really don't feel so comfortable taking one of these guys just kind of blindly since I didn't really get to scout each week. But might end up having to take one before the end of this draft. We're going to look around and see what we can find off combine grades. Combine grades are usually pretty good telling, depending on what they did so well on the combine. You can really decide if they're good or not. Like for instance, this guy, he was only ranked as highly as he was because of his vert. I don't think he's as good as his combine grade may shows this guy vert and broad jump. Obviously, not really doesn't mean too much. If you can jump but you can't cover, it doesn't really mean anything. We do still have a linebacker issue at left outside linebacker. That guy did not fare so well. Kind of going off the combine grades, but not a bad pick. Not a bad pick. I mean, for the 5th round, 69 overall, 6'4". He's definitely a red zone target. Does have good speed, pretty good catching as well. I think he just work on his route running. I think he'd be a pretty good player in this league. I think we can honestly use him a lot in the red zone and stuff. So we really did need this position. So it was nice to get it in the 5th round. Because obviously route running is a big deal, but it's not actually that hard to get up in this game. The Dolphins obviously haven't really had a great receiver in a while. Landry, put aside him, but they haven't actually had a really good wide receiver in many years. So looking now, I think we're going to look for a good left outside linebacker. We're going to take a gamble on this guy, I think. Yeah, I think we're going to take a gamble on this guy. We'll see what happens. I don't think he's going to be as good as he. Yeah, 60 overall. He's pretty bad, but you know, you get those bad players every once in a while. But I think honestly, with our linebacking core being as weak as it is, I don't think that really. I think anybody we pick will probably be better than who we had last year. We'll see how he plays. I think it's more about how he plays and how his overall is. I think it's kind of dumb in this game where they do kind of show you like their overalls, because that's not really realistic at all. Because they don't know as soon as they draft, just, oh yeah, oh shit, we messed up right then and there. It's not really how the NFL works, but we'll kind of see. We're just gonna kind of go with it, I guess. Obviously, we might have to look for another good player out there. We'll try this guy. 66 overall, not so bad. He could work on his tackling and his play rec and a little bit of zone coverage, but I think he could be developable. You never know. Pibbable. Yeah, very pibbable. All right. Going on, I think our next pick is going to be a good one.
The Dolphins are now on the clock.
Based off of his combine grade, we're going to draft Avery. 70 overall, not bad. Not bad. Drafted him 75 picks after he should have gone. So not bad. We could use him either as a backup or we could get him in at left end, because I'm not really sure who's playing that position. We'll figure it out once the draft's over. But we may have to pick up some undrafted free agents or people who didn't get signed yet.
The Dolphins are now on the clock.
All right. Trying to get our most irrelevant player. We're gonna go with the 6'7" Torreya Hunt. 58 overall, obviously pretty bad.
Are now on the clock.
71 strength, but he is 6'7", so you never know. We could turn him into I don't even know. We could put him into a fullback, maybe. Right, that is your 2017 NFL Draft class, everybody. Not too bad overall. We did okay. A couple picks, like this, that's our linebacker, but you know, you have to make some blind picks every once in a while. Based off of needs-wise, I think we filled a good amount of positions that can grow in this next season. Not so sure we're going to be a playoff team per se, but we could definitely build for the future, so that's good. All right, looking for fullbacks, honestly, because we're going to need a good fullback. See what we can find out there. We have a 73 overall balanced fullback. Sean Flacco, Joe Flacco's brothers out there, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Flacco's, we're going to sign Joe Flacco's little brother Sean. We're going to bring him in. I think he could develop into a good, maybe like a short runner for us. Maybe pound it on the goal line, or could end up working on his blocking skills and bringing him in to help block for the running game. We're going to bring him in, sign him on a one-year deal. See how he plays. We never know. Joe Flacco's younger brother. Joe Flacco's pretty good. He won a Super Bowl. Maybe his little brother can too. We're going to be looking for cornerbacks now. I think we need we're not going to so much look at their overalls per se. Oh, this guy actually may not be that bad. Looking at his coverage skills, not so bad. Neither is this guy, actually. His coverage skills, you gotta look at the coverage skills more with cornerbacks than anything else, because frankly, that's what mostly matters. It's not so much if they are as, like, overall wise, like awareness and stuff, which does matter. It's just a matter of anybody can build that up. So we're gonna sign this guy, obviously. He's got some good talent. I think we could develop him. You always find those every once in a while. A couple of good players you didn't think were any good. For instance, Russell Wilson, 3rd round. Richard Sherman in the 5th. I mean, some guys like Malcolm Butler you didn't even see coming. So definitely gotta look for that. As you can see, this rookie has an 84-man coverage in a 78 zone. I guarantee he ain't rated that high. A 68 overall. Definitely worth bringing in. Maybe even he could have a starting job on our cornerback rotation right now. I guarantee it. Definitely a good roster move signing for us. It's one of the most important positions is cornerback, but they can't really do much if you're not getting pressure on the defensive line. So that's what we really have to worry about as well. We have a good rookie here, Nathan Tripp. Looking at him, he needs to work on his block shedding and some strength, but he does have good speed. We're going to bring him in, see if he can help us out any bit. We do need a backup tackle, so let's see. Any good back? Not at all. 63, 65 looks like. 67 is the best. We'll see what this guy is. He's got a good, okay strength. Power move, not so much. Tackling, not so much. Block shedding, not so much. Not so sure why he's rated so high. His awareness must be okay. I think we're going to sign a veteran. I think that'd be the best option here. We're going to sign Ruben. I think he's looking pretty good wise there. He could just come in because running the 4-3 scheme, running a second defensive tackle, so to help Ndamukong Suh, I think it's a good pickup right there. Alright, so this is what it's going to look like for the roster here. Necessarily, I think we did fairly well. I think our left tackle, I think we did pretty well in this draft, to be honest. I didn't think that we would get as many good players as we did. We did get a superstar middle linebacker there in the 4th round, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. We got a couple of cornerbacks and undrafted free agents, which our cornerback situation may not be great, but I think we can definitely work it and make it pretty good. Alright, that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. We'll get to the gameplay next episode, which will probably be in a couple of days. So I'll see you guys next time, and we'll figure out the roster as it goes. So if you have any comments, concerns, or whatever, comment it down below, and I'll take a look at it. So I'll see you guys next time.